In the gun, Murray. Time. Deep ball. Got a man wide open. Caught it. 10-5. Touchdown. Robert Griffin. Good job, man. In the gun. Curtis, throw it. He's going to throw it out of bounds and hit the photographer. Incomplete. Yes! 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 Welcome to this special Cotton Bowl edition of Stories from the Gridiron. Your football heroes talk about the game back in the day, featuring the 2016 Cotton Bowl Hall of Fame class. And what a show we have for you today. SMU's Eric Dickerson from the Cotton Bowl 1983. USC's Tony Boscelli from the Cotton Bowl 1995. Bob Goliic from Notre Dame, who played in the Cotton Bowl 1978 and 1979. And Texas Longhorn coach Fred Akerss, who coached the Cotton Bowl with the Texas Longhorns in 1982. Like I said, it's going to be a great show, so sit back and enjoy this special edition, the Cotton Bowl Hall of Fame, on Stories from the Gridiron. Welcome to this very special edition of the Donnie Sport Football Show. We're coming to you from AT&T Stadium here in Arlington, Texas, and it's a very special event here. It's the AT&T Cotton Bowl Hall of Fame. 6 members are going in. Some of them we all grew up with. And I'm going to swing you around, show you who's all in the room here. We have that guy right there, Bob Goliic, played for Notre Dame. And he was a part of one of the most miraculous Cotton Bowl games in history. I was talking about 1979. How you doing there, Mike? That was Michael Conradi, by the way. Media genius here at AT&T Cotton Bowl. That's, like I was saying, Cotton Bowl 1979 and the ice and everything. He was a part of that miraculous comeback. That's right, 22 points down. Joe Montana just brings everything back. And how you doing? And there's a guy, the other guy that we're going to talk to. That was Eric Dickerson. We're going to talk to him. Tony Boscelli, that's right there. Tony Boscelli played for USC, and he just. And I'll tell you more about him later, but right now let's go to, there's a local hook to everything here with the Cotton Bowl, and this guy's about as local gets. That's right. 1982 Cotton Bowl. Yeah. You guys, well, this is Eric Dickerson, by the way. SMU took on Pitt in that game. I remember it was kind of
very cold day. We won 7-3.
That's right.
Yeah, kind of the last couple of minutes of the game, we scored a touchdown.
That's right. And it was 7-3, and it was a defensive struggle. So that means one thing: the rushing game had to be huge, and you were.
Well, I had 127 yards, 125, 127 yards in that game on 27 carries. Didn't score a touchdown. It was slippery, wet day, cold. I remember one play, because I always tell the guys who hit this, some guys that I know now, Dan Marino and some of the guys, I said if it wouldn't have been, if it wouldn't have been so wet, it was going back came around the corner, but I couldn't make the corner because it was just too wet and cold and it went out of bounds.
And back then the Cotton Bowl was all turf. It wasn't.
All turf, yes.
It wasn't grass back then.
No grass.
The Pony Express. You. Craig James and that bunch. I mean, you know, guys had how much you impacted football back then.
Well, you know, I didn't even think people really knew who we were. You know, because they didn't have all. You know, they have now for television. You know, ESPN and Sports Round the Clock and Fox. But, you know, when I got to the NFL, people were saying, man, you're part of the Pony Express, you know, the Pony Express. And I was like shocked. But, I mean, we thought we had a great football team, defense and offensively. We could run the football, run the formation. We know they stacked the line of scrimmage against us, but we still able to run the football.
That's right. And speaking of that particular Cotton Bowl, look at the impact that came out. You, Craig James, Dan Marino came out in that game. I mean, you look back in that game and how much those three players, including yourself, impacted the NFL in so many different ways.
I mean, all of us played in the NFL. You know, Dan, I was a first-round pick. I was the second pick in the first round. Dan was a first-round pick. I think the 29th pick in the first round. I think Craig was a USFL player that came in and played for the Patriots. It was a lot of guys that played on that field that went pro. A lot of players. You know, I don't know what we did for the league, but, you know, we tried to show our talent, you know, in the National Football League. You know, my rookie season in the NFL, I was Rookie of the Year. I beat out Dan Marino by 10. But, you know, it was a great game. The guy had a great career in college and pro.
You've seen a lot of football, especially in current years now. Comparing the style of play where you were playing back then to now, do you think the college game has gotten pass happy? All these run and shoot offenses, flinging the ball all around.
Well, I think all football teams try to mimic themselves after the pro teams. They really do. I think if the pros start passing the football, then they want to pass the football. The pros start running the football, they want to run the football. And I think everybody has to have a quarterback. I mean, you had to have a quarterback back in those days. You really did. A great defense and you have to be able to have a running game. And now, you know, everyone must have a quarterback. You know, throw the ball, you know, 70 times a game or 60 times a game, run the ball, you know, maybe 10 or 15 times. And, you know, in our era, you know, we didn't really do that. You kind of evened it out. But now it's just really all about the quarterback.
Let me ask you a quick question. When you got the call,
There you are, Eric Dickerson, SMU, 1983 Cotton Bowl. Let's see, I'll tell you what. I'm going to try to get someone. Let's get this guy because watching that particular Cotton Bowl back in '79.
the spring game.
And he was a part of two impactful Cotton Bowls as well. The year before, when
It would be a great. You'd really enjoy it. I know. I can't even find my dorm anymore. Used to be able to see my dorm.
let's see if I think over here. Yeah, let's hop over there. That guy there, what's his wearing for? Let you know he coached in Texas there.
Thank you very much. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Would you like a bottle of water?
Oh, thank you.
Are you thirsty? Like
Yeah, that's good.
One thing about the Cotton Bowl, they treat you like a king over here. They give you water, anything you want, you can have. Ladies and gentlemen, here's a guy. He coached the Texas Longhorns 3 times here in the Cotton Bowl, but there's one Cotton Bowl that just stands out to my memory for all kinds of reasons. And let me introduce him. Coach Fred Akerss. How you doing? Welcome to the Donnie Sport Football Show. How you?
Well,
Yeah.
thank you for recognizing that we are going to
Yeah.
still keep going on.
That's right, yeah. That's right. Now, you had some big shoes to fill when you took over Texas football. I mean, Darrell Royal, who was legendary, I mean, on top of legendary.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hook 'em horns. Let's get that.
Thank you.
That's right, yeah. There you are.
I'll turn my flash off so I don't have flash.
That's right. And what was it like? I mean, you come in from, if I recall, Wyoming, right? University of Wyoming.
Well, I came back from there.
Ah.
I was there for 2 years. And, they took Darrell out of the picture.
Yeah.
And it was, I hated that.
Yeah.
He deserved everything.
Yeah, he did. He deserved better. That's right.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right. You took over. You had some great seasons with the Longhorns. You took them to the Cotton Bowl 3 times. One particular Cotton Bowl that just stands out, and I'll take it to us. Was it 81, 82? You took on Paul Bear Bryant's Crimson Tide, Alabama.
82.
Yes, right, 82. And at the beginning it wasn't good. You were down 10-0. Things weren't exactly cooking the way you wanted to work. And then it did a slight tweak at quarterback. And I can go ahead and say this. I went to high school with Robert Brewer. And went to high school with him in Richardson. You don't believe how elated we were when he took over and scored that touchdown to beat Bama. I mean, what was Robert Brewer like as far? What intrigued him enough to recruit him and get him down to Texas?
Well, I'll tell you, Robert is the kind of guy that you will kind of throw him out of the way. He's not big enough. He's not strong enough. He can't sprint fast enough. We found out that was a false good. It was good, but it was false.
Yeah. No, he was.
That's what a drop back with flaring backs. And all they had to do was one block. One.
That's what. And
here he goes.
And that hole, it was a big gaping hole, and it was like you just drive a truck right through it. And you just
It was.
yeah.
Well, I had. We were going through the films afterward, and when all of a sudden our players were giggling about Robert, and they made him. He said it took 12 minutes for him to go 30 yards.
Don't take this the wrong way. I didn't recognize you without your hat on. That's the first thing I was going to tell you. Did you always have the hat?
Well, that's true.
Yeah. So I almost didn't recognize you without your hat on. That's number one. Number two, what's your fondest memory of coaching inside the college and being part of the Classic?
Well, that's that has dwindled a little bit. Not between Notre Dame and Texas, and we don't care who we get ready for. And not to mention, I'm not blowing up, trying to cripple them. We don't do that. But it's good for football.
When you get the call that you were going to be inducted into this Hall of Fame, this Scott Hall of Fame, what sort of emotions, what sort of things went rushing through you?
Well, it's an opportunity, and it's something that no one else can just walk on. It's my turn. And I think we can, just do the kind of football that we're going to play. And whatever it takes.
Coach, can I get a picture with you if you don't mind?
Sure.
All right then.
Did you mind?
All right then. That was Fred Akerss of. And let's see. That's Tony Boscelli. I can go ahead.
I'm just going to grab this
Go ahead. That's right, the pride of USC, Southern California. How you doing, partner? All right, then. Welcome to the Donnie Sport Football Show, and
Thanks for having me.
all right then. USC, and if there was one thing I would know about USC, that no matter what position You get legendary when you get special like that.
Well, I don't know about legendary, but sure, a fun place to go play football, and a lot of good players have played there. It's
That's right.
a tremendous tradition, and to be a part of that tradition, it's quite an honor.
That's right, yeah. And you played on the offensive line.
Yeah, I played left tackle.
That's for left tackle. And offensive lineman from USC, I'm trying to think. That and a guy named Anthony, the brain just went blank on
Oh,
me.
Anthony Munoz, yeah, he's pretty good. He's not a bad player. Yeah, he set the standard for left tackle play in the modern era, especially in the NFL, and it's always fun. I mean, at SC, you can go through every position at SC, and there's an all-time great at one of those positions, and Anthony Munoz is, in my opinion, the best offensive lineman ever played the game.
That's right. Now, if I recall that game against Texas Tech, it wasn't even close. It wasn't even close.
It was close to kickoff.
Yeah, but both teams showed up. But when you tend to envision how games turned out the day of, but did you envision a blowout the way it did?
No, you never envisioned that. We were confident. We felt like we had really good players, and we knew that we'd have a good chance, but to play well. But you never envisioned beating a team like Texas Tech. They had a lot of good players. A great linebacker in the NFL, Zach Thomas, was the starting middle backer. They were really good.
Yeah.
And we just played much better that day, so you never believe that's going to happen, though. All right, Tony.
All right, thanks, Tony. All right, then, boy, as we moving around, it's Eric Dickerson's over there. Let's see if I can get a word with this guy here.
It would have driven them crazy, but now they're like, oh no, this is what people want. No, I mean, just because you say they want it, they don't care what the majority of people want. I mean, if one person is offended that you're saying the Pledge of Allegiance thing, one nation under God, one person's offended, then all of a sudden nobody can do it. And it just amazes me that one person can have so much influence in a negative way.
And in the schools also.
In the schools also.
Racist, okay, you got next year. You graduated with it. So what?
And it's turned into this litigious society that, and one of the reasons the schools do panic is because they don't want to get sued. I mean, they don't have the money to go up against organizations like, what is it? People Against Religion, the ACLU. A lot of times will sign up with the anti-religion people. So it comes down to, do you stick to your guns? But school districts, a lot of times, they don't think right. So it is, yeah. So now it comes down to guys having to be very careful what they say.
All right, well, I appreciate it.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you.
Okay, and there he is, Notre Dame.
Notre Dame.
Yes, the school with the Golden Dome, and this guy here, part of the offensive line that pretty much well, actually played linebacker, wasn't it?
Yeah, linebacker.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Bob Goliic is his name. How you doing? Welcome to
doing
Donnie
very
Sports
good.
Football
Thank you.
Show.
Thank
All right. There's one particular Cotton Bowl I gotta ask you about.
Okay.
And many people ask you about as well. January 1st, 1979.
Okay.
The Ice Bowl.
Yes.
Close to it. You and University of Houston, and you guys were down 22 points. And what was the mood at that point in the game?
We were cold.
Yeah. Cold, freezing, yeah.
I remember we were obviously, we were playing a great team, so it didn't feel like this is not one of those teams where we're going to be able just to push our way back and to win. But once Montana went out there and started finding receivers and throwing the ball, in my class, we had watched Montana come back in so many games over the 4 years, our 4 years at school, that if anybody was going to do it, it was going to be Joe. But as the story goes, Joe had I don't know, he was like hypothermic at halftime. He was so cold, he was shaking. And so as the story goes, as time goes on, they took him to the locker room. At halftime, we all went in there. They gave him hot chicken broth, which they had for all of us. And then he goes back out and does the comeback. And
Chicken
so
broth,
all of a sudden, the story became chicken soup. Saved it for another day.
Now, is that pretty much true, or is that an urban myth?
Yeah,
That's all very legit.
Well, it wasn't
Close enough to be.
It wasn't chicken soup. There were no noodles.
Okay.
It was chicken broth.
Chicken broth.
Yeah,
the liquid.
yeah, it was definitely chicken
Something
broth.
more.
Yeah, but something besides hot chocolate and hot coffee.
Something warm to get down his
Yeah,
palate.
yeah.
and
Yeah,
Get that going.
but it was always just like the funniest thing to see. You know, something your grandma goes, "Oh, honey, you don't feel good. Here's some chicken soup." And next thing you know, your quarterback's coming out of the locker room revitalized and making that comeback. It was just incredible.
Have you been part of any kind of comeback at any level more dramatic than that? As a team that you played on?
Not in a game of that magnitude. I played with Joe for Montana for 4 years, and so playing for Joe with that many years, you're going to play in other games that the comebacks are incredible. I mean, I think my sophomore year, I think it was his first comeback where they put him out there because they were really hesitant putting him as the starter. We had a lot of other guys that Devine was trying to put in, but against North Carolina, we were down. I don't remember how many points it was. We were down significantly. They brought him in, and he brought us back. I think the next year against Air Force Academy, we were up in Colorado Springs, and we were down 30-10 with about 10 minutes left in the game, and we came back and won 31-30. So it was because those damn people were flying those damn falcons at our heads.
Swooping down at you.
Yeah,
on
they
the
were
sideline.
swooping down. A lot of our guys couldn't, they were having flashbacks from the beginning of the game. But yeah, so with having Joe around, it was, you knew there was always a chance. And I know that sounds kind of cliche, but you truly, of anybody I've ever known, Montana was the guy that just always found a way to bring it back.
In this era of CTE, concussion concerns, etc., are you concerned about the future of football as a sport? Whether the next generation will play it enough or play it well enough to be at this level? What will football look like in 20 years?
Well, first off, my first concern is that it still exists as it does now. I mean, I hear people, non-football people, doctors and the like, that who would like to. Let's put it this way: when I heard somebody say we're thinking about having the offense and defensive line start in a 2-point stance. No getting down, no leverage, no hitting like that. It's just stand there. That way you can block each other, but nobody hits their head really hard. Then you start watching some of the calls, and I know the referees are getting a lot of push from the league to try and, make it look safer. Right. But the bottom line is, I mean, when I was in 6th, 7th grade, and I decided to play football. They handed me a helmet, and I put it on and said, I guess I got to protect my head. I mean, it's like nobody was under any idea that you weren't going to get hit in the head.
Right.
So it's just, and it became very surprising to me that everybody was complaining. And now, there's guys all the time that have to get knee replacements, and shoulder, things like that, and it's all resulting from playing the National Football League. Why would you think that the possibility of a head injury might not have lasting effects? In fact, my last year, one of my last years in the league, I remember getting dinged. Yeah, we didn't have concussions. We
just got dinged.
Yeah.
Come out
And then
for a couple of plays.
they had a thing full of those little ammonia capsules. I actually have some around the house just on Sunday. I'll sit and watch football games and pop ammonia caps.
Yeah, just to keep
Yeah, I don't think there's a law against it.
There's not.
No, it's not.
I think I'm okay. Yeah, I get them legally. Yeah, I mean, I would need a prescription. It's not like I bring them in from Saigon or anything. The home of the ammonia cap.
Exactly.
I don't know if that's true.
Yeah, I don't either. It's a good line, though.
Yeah, exactly.
Works for me.
But I don't know. But so why you would think that there wouldn't be a possibility that they would have? In fact, like I said, my last year, I remember by about mid-season, I had been dinged like 3 times, and not all bad where I was unconscious or anything, but just where I was a little off, and I was. You could really tell you'd been knocked a little goofy, and so at that point I literally thought to myself, I got to start thinking about this because it's a lot. It's a lot happening in one season. I said, what happens if there's something? And I thought to myself, what happens if there's something after the football? And so I can't imagine that guys didn't think about the possibility. I think, and I hate to say this, but I think there's a lot of the former NFL guys that saw an opportunity to make some money.
Right.
And to be perfectly honest, I literally had guys saying to me, "Aren't you going to join you're not going to join the lawsuit?" And I'm like, "Well, no. I mean, I'm fine." They said, and these guys were saying, "Hey, we can get like 100, 200 grand on this." I said, "Well, are you having a problem?" Well, no, but we can get some money out of this. And I'm like, so you're going to compromise the reputation of the National Football League for making some money. And it really ticked me off. And so, it's something that happened. If you didn't think it was going to happen, they always worried about saying things like, well, they made me go back in. Or they made me feel like if I didn't go back in, you know what, you do that to yourself. As a player, you do that to yourself. I always did that to myself. Bob Goliic, you okay? Yeah, I look out in the field and there's my backup. And he goes, why am I? Goliic, you're not on our team. Get on the other sideline. I'm looking over at, I'm looking on the field and there's somebody else playing my position. And I'm thinking, I'm fine. I'm going back out there.
Go out there and be a star.
And if you say any different, then either you didn't love playing football or you're a liar.
Multiple generations of Golics obviously played the game very well.
Bob Goliic, Notre Dame, talking about a variety of things from him playing in NFL, Notre Dame, of course, concussion issue that concerns all of football. This is just the beginning of, I think it's going to be a special day here at AT&T Stadium, the Cotton Bowl Hall of Fame event. You really think about it, in the history of the Cotton Bowl, the number of well-known football players that has played in this game, and you just saw just a few of them. We mentioned Joe Montana, Dan Marino, Ray James, and a bunch more. Troy Aikman played in this game. Roger Staubach, Joe Theismann. The list goes on and on and on and on and on. And every year, every 4 years, 5, 6, the Cotton Bowl honors these athletes who played in the biggest spotlight of them all, which is one of the premier bowl games in college football. And they pick 6 folks to put into the Hall of Fame, their Hall of Fame. And this is a program that goes all the way back a while. And for them doing this, it's a real cool thing. And so looking forward to the next group of folks that they vote and induct into the Cotton Bowl Hall of Fame. And my gosh, we're going to be there for that as well, as a matter of fact. So coming up, we have the Hall of Fame event. You just saw the interviews. Now we're going to show you the event and the actual induction to this Prime Hall of Fame. Cotton Bowl Hall of Fame event continues here on this special edition of the Donnie Sport Football Show right here on the Donnie Sports 17 Network.
Since you used them in high school.
The following is a presentation on the Donnie Sports 17 Network.
Welcome to the football show on the Donnie Sports 17 Network on YouTube.
Fame inductees being escorted out. That's Fred Akerss, Texas Longhorn coach.
And now presenting the class of 2016 in the Cotton Bowl Hall of Fame, from the University of Texas, head coach Fred Akerss.
And there's USC's Tony Boscelli.
From the University of Southern California, offensive tackle Tony Boscelli.
And there he is, part of the SMU Pony Express. By the way, Craig James is in the house today, just saw him. And there's the other half, Eric Dickerson.
From Southern Methodist University, tailback Eric Dickerson.
And from Notre Dame, great linebacker. Now, a sense of humor, and that's Bob Goliic. In the pre-interview, I did not get to ask him about safe out of the
From the University of Notre Dame, linebacker Bob Goliic.
I would tell you when I'm in the way. There's Fred Thompson.
From the University of Arkansas, quarterback Fred Marshall.
I mean Fred Marshall, not Fred Thompson. Hey, how you doing?
From the Cotton Athletic Association, representing the late Dan Petty, his widow, Mary Jane Petty.
And that was Mary Jane Petty, widow of Cotton Bowl selection committee, Dan Petty. And finally,
And representing Dan Petty is his son, Kip Petty.
and that was his son Kip Petty that just passed by. So there you have it, the inductees into Cotton Bowl Hall of Fame. All right. Lisa.
That thing was heavier than I am. There's a lot of time right here in this room that makes me just throw me in there, coach. I want it. And I've always had a family that could make it on the team. And if you would, I'd like for you, Diane, to let people see you. And a future, Ryan Delmonico. And Hunter. people really know what it's like to cherish the opportunity. And it's a real gift to find the kind of people we have in here right now. And congratulations, Tom. All right. And I'd like to tell you that I know that Coach Frank Boyd has so many great qualities. And when we get to a point that all you have to do is run out there and run back, can't do that now. You just can't. And I mean that, Tom, on your play. I'll tell you that. I wish we could have a group like you for every ball game. All right? You know, we lost a new man, another coach, and this is Coach Darryl Roy. You know what Darryl would do? It's an opportunity for a guy to get a coaching job based on that. He's got a great sense of humor, and he knows what it was like to take the whole team down the street, down to where the football stadium is. I wish I could say that I'd do that, but he was a friend. You know, I've coached several players that want to be on our team. And the staff, by the way, we have one of the most outstanding defensive coordinators in Leon Fuller. Pam, get up, stand up for us, will you?
Quite on anytime you come to a Hall of Fame like this. And when you think about being honored in this way, the honor to me is really secondary. It's nice because I tell people all the time, I don't know if getting inducted in any Hall of Fame is going to make you happy or sad or change your life or whatever. But the one thing that every time that I've been honored like this and happy this time again, my favorite part is to be able to remember back in the good times, the fun, the time here in Dallas that week in 1995, leading up to the 95 Cotton Bowl. It brings back great memories and stories that you can tell and people you can reconnect with. And so for more than anything, thank you so much to the entire Cotton Bowl team for inducting me, finding me. I feel worthy. I do have some, a little upset about a couple things I'd like to bring up right now. As an offensive lineman, one of the things we usually do, no respect. Remember, all riding hands for you. I can't get any respect for you. There's no respect in an offensive line. And I've gotten used to it, but here this week, the last couple days, it's even dug deeper. You guys sitting next to Bob Goliic, great player, but he didn't go to Maine. If you know anything about college football, you know that you guys see Notre Dame hate each other. So having this next to the Golden Dome where I thought makes it very difficult. Plus, it's a great defensive line. My goodness, just kick me when I'm down. And then secondly, it was last night we were at the dinner. Let me say this before I say what I'm about to say. You guys know how to host people here in Texas, in Dallas. The Cotton Bowl knows how to take care of people. This is one of the final events that my wife and I have been to, so thank you. With that said, let me say something negative now. The highlight film. One of the worst highlight films we've ever seen. Brad knows that the offensive line, I was talking to Rick about this, he said, well, back then they didn't look at the offensive line very much. It's always the quarterback and the guys making the tackles. Again, disrespect. I'm better than that, I promise. I mean, I missed block and I highlighted it, and I go get the I feel sorry for you going, I didn't put that guy in the whole thing again. But in all seriousness, it's a great honor. I love the game of football. I think it's the greatest sport ever created. It has done so much for me as an individual. I wouldn't be here today without the game of football. Obviously, I wouldn't have met my wife without the game of football. I live in the University of Southern California. Play major college football. I got to play in the NFL. It is really, actually, 21 years ago today, I was drafted in the NFL as a second overall pick. Football has given me more than I've ever given to it. I'm so thankful for it. And the other thing I'd like to close is, I don't think any of us get anywhere in life by ourselves. And I let a lot of people think. First and foremost, I did not make myself 6'8". I helped get there to 320 pounds, of course. But I gotta thank my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, for making me, giving me athletic ability. I thank my parents who drove countless hours and time to give me football practice. All the great coaches I've had, that's some of the greatest coaches in my life. Sam McDonald, my high school coach, Larry Smith and John Robinson, our coaches at USC, Mike Berry, John Maxwell, Bob Packhouse, the offensive line coaches that I had. I mean, just amazing people. Taught me how to play the game, and allowed me to be here today. When I got there, my wife, because my daughter was in big trouble, she was here at the conference, she was a cheerleader for USC, and so we got a kind of experience and talk together. And so what a life. And I'm so thankful to the people in my life that allowed me to do what I do. And I have great memories from that week, and I thank you for bringing it back. It was a great game for us. The Texas Tech man was probably the worst Saturday of the worst bowl game in history. 55-10 in the beginning, 34-0 half. And two things I remember about that game. Well, there's a number, but two things I'll mention. One is we come out after a great week. We talk about hosting a team. We were treated better than any bowl game we'd ever been to. And it was outstanding. I remember coming out and down the old Cotton. I wish we played here because I feel that the old Cotton might be the worst match that we played on. But hey, it was the Cotton Bowl and it was awesome. We walked down the ramp and all any Texas Tech fans here throwing a bunch of tortillas at us. I'm like, we're from California. What the heck are we doing? I thought we ate those things. They're throwing tortillas at us. That was the last time they threw tortillas at us. And how many good things happened after that? We were 28-0, first quarter, 34-0 and a half. And at halftime, John Robinson, our head coach, coming in and saying, "You're good, one more series." And then you're done. We were winning so bad. It was a great day. We still haven't stopped Keyshawn Johnson from scoring. And he said, outside of one of those highlights, I must have played okay because I outplayed a little over half and still waited for the ball to finish. Thank you so much. It's an honor to be here. And,
thank you very much. First of all, thank you for the Cotton Bowl committee for choosing me to be the judge of the Cotton Bowl Hall of Fame. The greatest one I want to say is thank you for this opportunity to be in the Cotton Bowl Hall of Fame. Thank you. Congratulations to all the other judges also. Congratulations to you. First of all, I got to start off by saying one thing. Coach Fred Akerss, I just got to say this to you. We love playing with you guys, we hate you guys. I think all of us there can attest to that. Jay, we had to say, I love playing with the home horns, but every time I see that orange, it's like, oh. I just have to say this. For me, a little boy back in Sealy, Texas, didn't know if I could get a chance to go to college, even get a scholarship. I was blessed. I was blessed to have a talent to play football. I was brought up in the right way. I always say this, that if I could be half the man my dad was when he passed away, I'd be a good man. You know, I was fortunate enough to get recruited by many schools, SMU, Oklahoma, Texas, all the schools, and I ended up choosing SMU. But it's kind of a long story that shows where we kind of lead you through the story of our recruitment. I got first committed to A&M, Texas A&M, and I wasn't sure if I wanted to go there or not, and eventually I received my offer to him. I didn't want to go there. And my mother loved running around. You know, I wanted to go to the University of Oklahoma. That's why I went to school. And I committed to OU. Coach Akerss came to my house and showed me a highlight tape, and I'm like, I'm all excited. I said, I'm going to school now. I'm committed, I'm going, Coach. And I won't forget, my mother was really about it. And as he walked out, she looked at me and said, you're not going to school there. I said, no, nope, I'm not going to school there. Okay. So I, basically tell them I wasn't going to school. And I said, well, why not? She said, I don't understand, man. She said, you're a Texas boy, why don't you stay in Texas? So I was like, old lady, I can't be going to Oklahoma. So I'm like, okay. So then I ended up going to SMU. I'll say this much, my first of all, can all my teammates stand up, all the SMU guys that I played with back at SMU? I came back, I played a little bit better. I think we went to a bowl game, I think we went 9-2. And I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna get out of here. So I go back home, I go back to see, I tell my mom, I want to transfer. She's like, what? She said, boy, sit down. So I said, I'm here to yes, ma'am. I sit down, she took a piece of paper, she put a line down there. She put SMU on one side and Public on the other side. She said, okay, so you have a scholarship at SMU, don't you? I said, yes, ma'am. That's a check. I guarantee you the scholarship at OU. That's X. She said, you play at SMU, aren't you? Yes, that's a check. Are you guaranteed you're going to play at Oklahoma? That's X. So make a long story short, there was a lot of X's on the right side, a lot of checks on the left. But she said, what ticket back at SMU? So I went back to SMU, and I think that's why I always say this. Parents are so important because that is the best decision she made for me going back to Southern Baptist University because, no matter what would happen, when we became the Pony Express, it became Greg James. I think that at the point, I didn't think anyone knew who we were. When I got to the NFL, they were like, hey, you're on the Pony Express, man. I'm like, wow, they know who we are. So, that was just a great time for me getting back to college. And when I think about playing in the Cotton Bowl, leading up to playing in the Cotton Bowl, I always wanted to play in the Cotton Bowl. That was our thing at SMU, going to the Cotton Bowl. That was our goal, what to play in. And we got a chance to play against the Pitt Panthers and Dan Marino, and that great Pitt team. And we kept hearing how great they were, And we knew how good we were. We knew we had a good football team, and we were looking forward to the challenge of playing in that football game. And there wasn't a lot of scores that week. Some of you at that game was very, very, very cold. We won the game 7-3. Last night we scored our only touchdown. And we won the game. And I look back now, I look back at the highlights, and I'm like, wow, boy, that was a long time ago. We played a great football game. I played well. But it just goes to show you how time passes on all of us. And I just want to thank all my teammates, all of you guys, once again, for every block that you made for me. I won't forget the time that me, you, and Charles talked before I talked about transferring to OU. Y'all were one reason for trying to talk me out of it. And all the things in my life that I think people don't know the steps that you go through in their life trying to get to the point that hear Eric Dickerson or Tony Boscelli or Coach Fred Akerss or whoever you are. You know, there's a lot of things in that step that couldn't go if you go one way or other. And for me, I thank God, you know, I chose the right path. It was the right path for me. And I'll say this as a Mustang, I want to let all you Mustangs know that we've had some tough times, some really tough times. And listen, I've had a lot of winning seasons. But know this, our time is coming. It's coming. And I will always love and support my school, Southern Methodist University, and SMU Mustangs. And I want to thank you for having me back to the Hall of Fame in Chicago. Thank you.
Self-deprecating up here and going, he's taking all my stuff. Anyway, I want to say thank you first of all to the Cotton Bowl Committee and everyone involved. This is, without doubt, one of the greatest times of my life. Jumping ahead 30-some years, I had probably about a month ago, I had my son who is now 19. For some reason he's going to Ohio State, but that's my problem. You don't have to worry about that. And he goes, Dad, you realize I've never seen you play football? I said, that's right. And so I went to the cabinet and I found some old DVDs. They had actually been converted over from VHS, for those who remember. And it was the two Cotton Bowl games. And I said, come on, I'll show you. And we went to the office and sat down, and I think he was just expecting to see a couple of plays. When I sat down and pulled out the green laser pointer, so now that's me right there. Oh, wait, go back, folks. Oh, that guy there. Oh, I got cheap shot on that one. There's no way I could have made that tackle. And at that point, Karen, my wife Karen, stand up and say hello. Yes, Karen, stand up and say hello. Everybody else stand up and say hello. When you get a chance, everybody walk past her later. Anyway, she shows up with her two daughters, and they saw what was going on and turned around and went the other way. Yes, you did. Well, I've seen you play. The first Cotton Bowl we played in, the one against Texas, I have to apologize to Coach Akerss because I really didn't have much experience with the media at that time. And all we kept hearing in the media was that they had Bryant Shearer, and they had Earl Campbell, and they had the Hammond, Jannon, Landon Jones, and all those Joneses. And I'm like, damn, that's a big fan. And Russell Ertzleben, we heard that all the time. And somebody came up to me, a reporter, and he said, well, Mom, they have this, and this again. And he said, how do you think you're going to do? I said, well, I'm sorry, but we're going to blow them out of the stadium. About 2 hours later, I was in Dan Devine's office. And that's when Dan first told me, don't say stuff like that. But so if So it was an amazing time, and of course we have the game for next year, which a lot of people call the chicken soup game. And
well, there you have it. You can go ahead. Oh, I can go. Okay. One more time. There you have it. You're looking at the class of 2016 Cotton Bowl Hall of Fame. Fred Akerss, Tony Boscelli, Eric Dickerson, Bob Goliic, Fred Marshall, and Dan Petty. All in. There you are. There's a nice looking group of folks going into one of the most prestigious church. What a group, and there's Brad Sham on the end. Great job of emceeing this event. By the way, January 2nd, 2017. That is when the Cotton Bowl will begin again, and they're gonna play. Oops, that's our program. No telling who. How you doing? No telling who will play in this year's upcoming Cotton Bowl. I will say this. Now we have the college football playoff linked up to this prestigious bowl. It's always going to be special from here on out. Thank you for watching this special edition of the Donnie Sport Football Show, the 2016 Cotton Bowl Hall of Fame event. More great stuff coming your way. Keep it right here on the Donnie Sports 17 Network. 81st Annual Cotton Bowl Classic, January 2nd, 2017, AT&T Stadium. For information, visit cottonbowl.com.